He's trying to get
night, Irene.
I'm addicted to the truth. It's a dangerous love affair. Can't be scared when it goes down. Got a problem? Tell me now. Only thing that's on my mind is who's gonna run this town tonight.
It's now time for the Natural State Sports Podcast with Michael Carnahan, Aaron, and Mike Pettis, where we take the biggest sports headlines across the spectrum that is sports, and we break it down for you, the fan. It's coming at you in just a moment.
Dave Roberts.
Talking 5 times a 6, 0 shots, 0 tear. Back to running circles round niggas, now we squared up. Hold up.
Life's a game, but it's not fair.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Natural State Sports Podcast. I am Michael Carnahan, and I will be joined shortly by Mr. Mike Pettis. Aaron is actually off today, spending some time with family. He may be joining us a little bit later, but we got a lot to get into. We're going to be talking about the NBA Play In Tournament. We're going to be talking about Tim Tebow, Julio Jones. That was a shocker when I read that they were thinking about shopping him around. I mean, I realize he's getting old, but you're talking about a potential Hall of Famer. The college baseball NCAA tournament coming up. And, of course, Albert Pujols. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, and vice versa. That go to YouTube if you're on Facebook, and Facebook if you're on YouTube, and like the channel pages there. And with that being said, we'll go ahead and bring on Mr. Mike Pettis. Pettis, how are you doing today?
I'm great, Mike. Couldn't be better, buddy.
Hey, that's good to hear, man. Mike, we got a lot to get into, man. Sports, football, surprisingly, for May, football's been giving us some great stories this week, including the Tim Tebow signing and Julio Jones. That one's going to be fun to talk about with you and see your perspective on that. I realize every era has to come to an end, but, man, number one, that can't make old Matt Ryan happy.
Yeah, Mike, I mean, that's definitely his number one target, been his number one target for the last, 10 seasons?
At least.
Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun.
You're right.
Julio is a great player, man. I mean, big, physical, fast, smart, great teammate. I mean, even on the other side of 30, which he is, he'll be a great addition to any team that gets him. He just needs to stay healthy.
Oh, absolutely. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. The NBA Play In Tournament just wrapped up. I believe it was yesterday. And we actually have some highlights from the Lakers and Warriors game on Thursday night.
Chumming with the rejection. Looney was ready to throw it down. James to Davis. James with the tip in with the left hand and I think the whole thing has been pretty exciting. Curry on the drive. Flips it up. Back shot is good. Steph Curry with his... And Curry the rebound. Curry averaged a career high 5.5 rebounds per game this year. Gets inside, draws the foul, count it, and one.
The NCAA got really mad at Kentucky. They put Cleveland State on probation.
Curry for three. His first three. Despite the horrific shooting by the Lakers, especially their stars, again, they're only down 8. Curry, another three. Back-to-back threes for...
Either are they.
Curry, step back three. Bang! At the buzzer. Steph Curry from downtown, and the Warriors will...
Them offensively.
Curry to Green. Green trying to jam it. James and Drummond right there. James down the other end. Layup. Block. A foul. Count it. Wiggins one-on-one with LeBron James, who's just 2 of 9 from the field. Jumper is good.
Matthews and putting Anthony Davis at the center position.
Matthews his first minutes tonight. Curry long distance. Hits a three. Steph Curry his fourth. Who's cuts. Looking for Davis. James three-pointer. Puts it in. His first three-pointer again. Curry on the drive. Curry for three. It's good. Steph Curry from way downtown.
That entire possession, he's got to be great when Curry rests.
James drives on Toscano Anderson. Layup, banks it home.
And I think it starts with who you're playing. So Wes Matthews, he has been intense as James goes in with the reverse.
The Laker lead is 7. Curry for three. Answers. Steph Curry. And a fight for the rebound goes to Draymond Green. Curry on the drive. Scoop layup. He banks it home. Oh,
Not just on the shot, but also Davis's rebound and finish.
Anthony Davis discarded people.
Curry reverse with the English off the glass with 3:15 remaining. Curry fakes. Curry drives. Floats it up. Banks it home. Timeout. Clock at 7. James, 2 defenders on him. To Caldwell Pope inside. He's tied up by Green. Throws it back up top. James puts up the three. Oh, it's good! LeBron James from downtown as the shot clock expires.
So we saw it there, you know. There was a little bit of controversy coming out of that game, though, with LeBron James actually on 2 fronts now. LeBron James actually violated the NBA's COVID-19 protocols by attending a promotional event for Lobo's 1707 tequila. It doesn't appear that he's gotten in any trouble, though. Let's start with that aspect of this. Do you think that LeBron should get in any trouble, or are we kind of past the whole, you know, if you violate the bubble, you're not going to get to play and you're disqualified type of thing?
Well, man, it's kind of one of them things where, I mean, you know the rules and you got to abide by them. And we know LeBron is a model citizen when it comes to abiding by rules. However, I think it's kind of one of them things where I'm sure these guys are vaccinated, you know, and it's their call if they want to tell you or not. But you can kind of tell who's not wearing masks and who are. It's just
right.
So I'm sure these guys are vaccinated, but don't get me wrong, Mike. You got to follow rules and protocol.
Absolutely.
The reason I know they were vaccinated because it's no suspensions or no time off or tracing or anything like that. So I think LeBron's smart enough to know that if I do break these rules, it won't be a severe penalty, you know, as if I would miss games or actually get suspended because we're vaccinated. However, they still shouldn't have did that, or they should have kept it under wraps. I knew something was going on when I seen Michael B. Jordan and Drake on the sideline. So
right.
Those are the two that was in the promotion. So I don't think it's big of a deal, you know, as some people gonna make it out to me because it's LeBron and he violated. Mike, when you're a model citizen, anything you do is under a microscope. So
yeah,
some people will blow it up. As a Laker fan, I'm not worried about that. I'm concentrated on the Phoenix Suns.
Hey, that's true. That's true. And we'll get to that in just a moment. The other thing coming out of this, the flop from LeBron, or the flop from LeBron. LeBron was looking at, it appeared just based on his body language, LeBron was looking for a flagrant, man. LeBron was looking to get somebody thrown out. But no, social media on Thursday night blew up with this LeBron James flop that happened. What was your take on LeBron James on the deck?
Apparently, you guys haven't seen Space Jam 2. This guy, but no, seriously, man. In today's game, I mean, you know, it's geared toward the offense. They want to see 120-point games. You know, it's tailor-made to do it. It sucks, man. I hate flopping, but they all do it.
Absolutely.
If I can get an extra point by selling this foul, I will. Now, one thing that you can't dispute is it was a foul. Now, you know, that stuff goes so fast, man. Those guys are so athletic. I mean, sometimes you can't tell what happened. I could have scraped you in a nanosecond and, cut your eye. So he could have got it. Probably wasn't as bad as he made it out to be. At the same time, Mike, if you can sell it, sell it. The playoffs were on the line. So
Exactly.
With Stephon Curry on the other end, you better get every freaking point you can, man.
You ain't lying about that. You definitely ain't lying about that. So the loser of that game, the Golden State Warriors, went in to play the Memphis Grizzlies, who had previously beaten the San Antonio Spurs to knock them out. Looks like, let's talk real quick about the possible end of the Greg Popovich era in the NBA. I mean, that's a big deal to me. Pop has been around since I've been watching the NBA, and he's always been in San Antonio. First off, the first question that comes to my mind is, are we going to get our first female NBA head coach? There's a lot of talk about that Becky girl possibly taking over after he leaves. And then, of course, talk to me about your thoughts. Like, this for me is Belichick retiring in the NFL.
It's huge. Hall of Fame coach, winner, champion, leader of men, military style, very disciplined, hard-nosed, but loved his players, and you've seen the results, man. I mean,
absolutely.
You have to put Greg Popovich in the same breath as Phil Jackson, Pat Riley, or Red Auerbach. I just feel that because he did some great things, not only for the organization of San Antonio, but for the NBA, man. He was very active in, the recent movement, whether people agree with it or not, but he loved his players. And he loves people.
That's the key. So I think the best work, even though he wasn't winning championships, the best work as a coach was when he showed, when he had his players back during this movement. Yes. And, he not only – Greg was never bad about speaking out against people that pissed him off. But, if somebody dare said anything about the players – protesting or anything, Greg was down their throat. And that speaks to a locker room. That absolutely speaks to a locker room.
You could find a player in the NBA out of all, 500-600 players, I'm not sure, but you can't find a player in the NBA to say something bad about Greg Pop. The old players, the young players, they understand the man he is and how he loves his players. He's about principle, and you can't do nothing respect a man's man as he is. So it's a big blow to the league. I hate it. He was a great ambassador. It's huge, Mike. Like you say, I'm like you. I didn't know. I heard the rumblings about it, but I'm kind of in shock and awe now. Like, Greg Pop. And another thing you got to remember, Greg Popovich, man, he was not only transcending for San Antonio, but for the league. He protect players in the league. You don't have to don a San Antonio Spurs jersey for him to protect you, him to respect you, him to love you. That was one of Kobe Bryant's favorite people.
Oh, yeah. Kobe, LeBron. There was multiple times with LeBron. Really, the closest I had, and I've still never heard him talk bad about him, was Kawhi. And I think that was more just a scheme fit type deal, that Kawhi wasn't comfortable with the scheme. I don't think it had anything to do with Greg.
Kawhi is a real smart guy. He comes off as an introvert, but I personally feel this. I don't know for a fact, man. I'm just a peon on the wall, but I know for a fact, if you ask Kawhi, he would definitely say Popovich was a father figure. His father was killed when he was very young, or in his teens. I'm not for sure. Don't quote me on that, but Greg Popovich stepped in as a father figure for this kid. Mike, sometimes we have to separate business from personal things in our life.
Absolutely.
I think he'll always get Christmas gifts. He'll always be the first call on New Year's. I think they got an everlasting relationship, man. It was just time to move on in his career. But Greg Popovich, man, I'm going to go out on record, man, and say one of the greatest coaches we ever seen. He's going to be missing.
Oh, yeah. Easily top 3. I'd put him right up there, like you said, with Phil, Pat, and, Greg. I mean, and Greg could easily slide into – of course, me being a Laker guy, Phil's going to be number 1, but Greg could easily fill that number 2 spot.
Oh, easily.
It'd be close.
It's kind of like the Tim Duncan thing. I mean, you look at his numbers and his time, he's arguably the greatest power forward of all time.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't sexy. It wasn't high flying and reverse dunking. It was.
But let's be honest, how much did Tim change the game? Exactly. No power forward that big was turning around to the basket and shooting that J, man. Nobody.
Exactly. And Papa's seen that. He was at the helm of that. So, man, that's a testament to him.
Absolutely.
Kudos to him, man. Awesome.
So, what do you think about the next head coach? The Spurs are, kind of the New England Patriots, like I said, of the NBA. Do you think that they go with this Becky Hammonds, the female coach, or do you think that they go for somebody that's a little bit more proven and that has head coach experience?
And I'm glad you said that, man. I mean, in today's society, it's time for a woman to be a head coach in one of these major sports.
Right.
You have to be qualified. I don't care if you're a woman, a guy, no matter. You have to be qualified and gain the respect of the players and able to lead men. Now, I'm not saying Becky can't do that, but we have to be careful, man. We have to get the best qualified person. If she's the best qualified person, Becky should have that job. If it's someone else out there, let them get the job. Let's take the gender out of it, man. Let's get the best person possible to lead this great organization because it's a top 5 organization in the NBA.
Absolutely.
I mean, look at the rings and the championships and great pop. So I believe she'll eventually get a shot, but I don't know if right now is the time because, Mike, it's hard to follow a legend.
Oh, yeah.
Uncle has to be careful. One thing about them, let's say that she doesn't do too well, and after one season, they get rid of her. You know what people are going to say, right?
Oh, yeah. It's a no-win. I feel like the Spurs set themselves up for a no-win situation.
So I would promote her and bring somebody from the outside a little bit more qualified and get her to the point. One day she may be ready to take the helm, but just not right now, Mike.
Well, and I mean, it's interesting you bring that up about it's hard to follow a legend. Ask Eric Spoelstra. I mean, without LeBron James and Chris Bosh, Eric Spoelstra is probably not there still today. So, I mean, that's all you got to do is ask Spo, and he'll tell you.
Can I give you one more, not to change sports? Chuck Knowles, bro.
Good point.
Bill Cowher. It's hard to follow a legend. When you can do it, it's outstanding. And that's whether you're a coach, a quarterback, a great NBA player. It is hard to do. Steve Young, Joe Montana. It's hard.
Yeah.
And we're naming the people that were successful at it. So, yeah, Mike, I mean, just got to be careful about that, man. Promote her up, bring someone else in. When it's time to take the helm, she will.
Absolutely. So last night, the Memphis Grizzlies advanced into the tournament by defeating the Golden State Warriors. I'll say this about Golden State. As long as you got Steph Curry, you got a shot.
Punch your chance.
And I'm not even going to put this on the coach. I'm not even going to put this on Steve Kerr. Steph's just not enough. And I don't know if we say Steph's just not enough anymore. Because in his younger days, Steph was enough to get you close. I don't even know if Steph's enough to get you close anymore. Obviously, a disappointing year there in Oakland to not make the NBA playoffs after that exodus of talent. But, I think we're learning quite a bit about Kerr and Steph Curry as well. And that, Kerr was able to get him close as well as Curry. So I think we know those two are the proven commodities. Everybody else in my estimation in Oakland right now is they're able to be moved, in my opinion.
Man, I mean,
even Clay.
You really have to look at it through a pane glass. To me, this is one of his best coaching jobs from the standpoint. It's not when you got the Clays and the Kevin Durant and the Stephons at the high game. It's when you don't.
Right.
Play with Matter of fact, they lost the number 2 pick, James Wiseman, for the year to some injury.
Mm-hmm.
He was coaching with pretty much a G League team and a depleted roster. So I think he did an admirable job. Now, as far as Stephon, remember he was coming off an injury. He
Right.
put a lot on his shoulder. Arguably, to me, he may be the MVP. Jokic will win it. Nikola Jokic will win it, but Curry is a close second because this guy carried his team on his back.
Mm-hmm.
He's old, so you got to give him a little more credit. Mike, in today's NBA, one man can't do it. Bradley Beal can't do it by himself. Kawhi can't do it by himself. LeBron can't do it by himself. You see James Harden, what he did.
Yeah.
He ran the enforcements. So them days are over with because it's so much. It just being so much for you to score, to be a leader, to play. You need a Batman, a Robin, and some help from the Justice League.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So you know what, man? Golden State was a real feisty team. They embodied Curry's passion and drive. They fought to the bitter end. And as a Lakers fan, I'm gonna be honest. If LeBron don't hit that 3,
right,
you're probably looking at Memphis in LA in the battle for the AC last night. That's what I was thinking. I was watching the game, I'm like, dude, because Stephon was lights out. And the guy's been hot for like a month. So you've seen it coming.
Right.
So hey, man, we gotta step back and give Steve Kerr credit, Stephon credit, and that organization for fighting with a very, very depleted roster, man. Of course he can't do it by himself.
Right.
Nope.
And, I want to give credit also to Memphis. Memphis is going to be a problem. As long as they have John Morant on that squad, Memphis is going to be a problem. I'm not taking them to go very far this season, but, man, as John Morant matures, they get more pieces around him. Memphis could be a potential problem here in the West.
We'll talk about this later, but that game goes at least 6. And I'm going to tell you, John Morant is talent. A generation, you got a young Jaren Jackson. You got a real feisty great guard in Dylan Brooks. That's a dangerous young team that's coming, man. Memphis is going to be real good. They beat the hottest team in the league right now. Remember that.
Very true. Very true. On the other side, Indiana advances after beating Charlotte into the play-in game. And Washington beats Boston to advance into the Washington loses to Boston to go into that play-in game. Boston into the tournament. Let's talk about Boston real quick as they got the automatic bid into the tournament. What's your thoughts on the Celtics and their chances on the other side of the bracket?
You just asked a Laker fan about Boston.
Hey, exactly. Exactly.
Hey, not being biased, arguably Jason Tatum may be the best player in the game.
Mm-hmm.
If not, he's a year or two away. He reminds me a lot of that guy number 24/8 that donned that purple and gold.
Yeah.
Boston's one of those teams, man, with a lot of talent that you can never count out because just their pedigree. So I'll say Boston is a sleeper, man, from the standpoint, they got the 7th seed, 8th seed?
Yeah, the 7th seed.
The 7th seed. Now, tell me this, Mike. Before the year started, you definitely didn't imagine them finishing 7. You said they were going to the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think in a million years that who's the number 2 in the East? That would be. Do you think no defense playing in Brooklyn, it ain't enough balls, want to see Boston? That defends, on-ball defenders that play hard, and they got an electric young player, Jason Tatum. That's going 7.
Oh, yeah.
People don't want to hear it, but it is. Brooklyn is the odds-on favorite to win it with all the superstars. I get it, man, but you got to play defense. It's the playoffs.
Dude, I've got to give credit where credit's due. I mean, I'm a Laker fan, but Brad Stevens has done a hell of a job there in Boston to – I won't say change the culture because Boston's always got that Boston Celtic culture, but he has made them into winners. Towards the end of Doc's tenure there, they were struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
And Brad's got them back on track.
Great coach.
Mm-hmm.
Great coach. They're still rumbling about going back to the college. I wouldn't do that.
No.
He's young.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good young coach, man. I just think Boston's dangerous. I mean, they scare me, and we're in the West, Mike. So watch out.
Right.
Don't be shocked if they get Brooklyn. No, Brooklyn doesn't have a bunch of chemistry, a bunch of continuity. Brooklyn should win on paper. Don't get me wrong. Boston plays defense. Boston has people that can fill it up. Now, the one thing that really hurts is the Jaylen Brown thing. That hurts.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll get into that when we pick our first round selections here in just a moment. But the other one, Washington advancing over Indiana to get into the play-in tournament. I mean, I want to like Washington. I want to like what they're doing there. But, at the end of the day, Washington's there for a series, and then they'll probably be getting a quick exit by way of the 76ers. Good on them, though, for getting into the tournament.
Yeah. I mean, Washington got hot at the end of the year, one of the hottest teams in the East. Westbrook, he's been very impactful. Daniel Gafford out of University of Arkansas, he's been real big for him. It's just the Bradley Beal thing, man. He's not 100%. So they're monitoring his minutes and really watching him.
Right.
So that really hurts because they need that. But, hey, man, kudos to Scott Brooks, man, in Washington. He's done a great job. Like you say, dealt with a lot of injuries, dealt with the trade of Westbrook and John Wall early this season. So, hey, for them to even get in a tournament is a successful season, Mike.
So, me and you are going to have to take the Lakers out of this. Out of the other three teams that advanced in from the playoff tournament, do you see any of them with a chance of going all the way?
Such as?
So we have Boston, Memphis, and Washington. I think we both agree Washington's probably an early out. Boston is interesting to me. I think Memphis has the best chance of making it to the conference finals. I don't think any of the three could make it to hold up the Larry O'Brien trophy at the end of the season, though.
Yeah, the West is so tough, man. I mean, no discredit to Memphis, but I can see them maybe win the series. It'll be very hard to get to the finals. And like I say, I'll be condescending myself. I got to stick with Boston, man. I think they got the best chance because Jason Tatum, man, and just how they defend. That's what we got to remember in the playoffs. They attack your strengths, they attack your weaknesses, and take away your strengths.
So, overall, what's your thoughts? First year that we've had the play-in tournament, what's your thoughts? I feel like it gives us a little bit more excitement at the end here. It allows us to see maybe one of these teams that was 1 or 2 games out of that 7th seed, or the 8th seed in their conference, go on a hot streak and be able to manage to play a couple more games. How many times have we heard, man, if the season was just 3-4 games more, we would have been able to be in that 8th seed. Well, now it is. So this is interesting to me. I like the idea.
Man, you know what? I tried to really process it and look at the positives of it because I was a proponent against it. Because this is my thing. If you say the playoffs is 1 through 8 in both conferences, and I'm the 7 to 8 seed, and you saying, hey, you're ready for the play-in game, I'm not making the playoffs. So if you're going to do that, it's time to tweak it. Say 1 through 6 makes the playoffs.
Right.
7, 8, 9, 10 has to play a freaking round robin tournament to get it in. Now, you have to tweak it and change the language, Mike, because 7 to 8, I'm not in. I'm not
right.
in the play. I'm still fighting. So
right.
That's not fair for the 7 to 8 seed to have the body of work all season to say that, okay, if you're 1 through 8, you're in the playoffs. No, I'm not.
Right.
Okay. It's cool because it's kind of like the 15-16 thing in the NCAA tournament.
Right.
I get that. Now, remember, Mike, the NBA is about money and viewership. If you're gonna get a team that has won, 3 championships. No, you get 2 teams that have won 4 championships in the last 8 years, 6 to 8 years. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. You're not going to have Golden State in LA every year.
Oh, no. Not at all.
So this was a big bullseye, big win for the NBA. However, man, it's a players' league, and it always has been. And they listen to the players. It's not like the NFL, the shield.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We're going to do what we want. It's all about the shield.
Yeah. The NBA is a players' league, so let's wait till the offseason, man, and with this players' union, and ask the players, if we have it, how can we make it better? Do we need to let 7 and 8 in and let 9, 10, 11 fight for it? It needs to be tweaked.
Yeah.
They're gonna stick with it.
Right.
But it just needs to be tweaked, Mike. I think it can be good. But let's just change the language in it, man. 1 through 8 is not the playoffs.
I like what you're saying there as far as 1 through 6, you're locked in, and then 7 and 8 you need to fight to get your way in. I like that.
Right, because you have transparency. I'm sitting here, I'm looking at the Western Conference, Mike, like, okay, LA, Portland, Clippers, Utah, Phoenix. I go on down, I'm like, damn, we might be able to make the 7 to 8 seed. You're not in the playoffs. You'll get a possibility to get in the playoffs. That's it.
Well, and I mean, as loaded as what the Lakers are, let's just talk about that real quick. As loaded as what the Lakers are, they were, like you said, a LeBron James 3 away from having to play last night and possibly losing to Memphis for not even making it. And that would have been, let's be honest, a disaster of a season in LA.
We would have canceled the show today.
Oh, yeah. We'd have still been crying.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, and in a sense, you can say, well, if LA was perfectly healthy all season, we would be having this conversation.
Right. We'd be 2 seed at worst.
Exactly. Now, it's hard, but it's fair because we can't control injuries.
Right.
We get it. But that would have been a big time. LA, I mean, I would have felt punished. Okay, we're in the play-in. We got to fight to get in. We lost this game. I would have felt like it was a punishment, man.
Right.
Says 1 through 8's in the playoffs. That's it.
Absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the big NFL story this week. The Jacksonville Jaguars have signed Tim Tebow, and we got a story from Sports Grid Radio on this one.
There you go. Tim Tebow officially, so he could have played quarterback too. He could be the backup. Tim Tebow officially signs with the Jaguars. He was not signed for more than 2.5 minutes, and the entire Jaguar website and social media crew pimped out that you can get your Tebow jersey now at the team store as they're flying off the shelves down in Jacksonville.
Like, I heard today that, like, it's going to be a long-term thing with Tebow and Urban Meyer, and I just do not believe that for 1 minute. I don't even think he'll make the team. I just, at some point, he's going to be exposed that he's been out of football for 10 years, and he is not an NFL player. He wasn't an NFL player when he was in the league.
Yeah, it's funny. There's already, and I don't know how the players all feel about this. Trey Burton, who's been a tight end in the NFL for the last couple of years, there was a video today of Tebow, like, in his uniform, like, walking into practice or whatever, and he already had the gloves on, to catch passes, and Burton tweeted at it, put those away, dude. You're not going to be catching any balls for like 2 or 3 hours. Just calm down with the gloves. So I don't know what the sentiment is among players around the league, that what a joke this is that he's doing it, but we'll see.
I know what he's going to do.
It is Tebow.
He's going to be the team chaplain. That's what he's going to do.
Yes. That's a good role for him.
I mean, it's funny, but it's so true.
Dude, you know what, man?
I got to hate on it. I got to. I mean, I realize it's a league minimum deal, no guaranteed money, but I have to hate on it. Urban Meyer, you are showing your bias.
Mike, I don't care for Urban Meyer. I don't care for the University of Florida. I respect Tebow as a man. I'm a University of Arkansas Razorback fan. We don't play Florida several times and got ripped or got robbed or jobbed.
Oh God, especially against him.
Yeah, so let's not go back to that. And we're not going to revisit the Heisman thing that they gave to
Darren still got a spot on his trophy case that should have that Heisman thing in it.
Right. Now, with all that being said, man, what's going to happen is, man, they're going to keep attacking this dude and put some fire up under him and get him a little support because I'm almost like, hold up, man. Y'all talking about the man with the gloves on.
He said, put them gloves away. You ain't going to be touching no balls for 2 hours.
Right. Now, I don't expect him to go in there and take the world by fire, burn it up in practice. I expect him to make the team. I don't expect him to play. They got to remember, man, people are steady yapping, make all these comments and this, that. It's up to Urban Meyer. Let's remember that. It's up to his buddy, Mike. It's up to his buddy. So we got to be careful, man. We sit here and talk about what he can't do and what he going to do, this and that. Yeah, the NFL may be behind him. Yeah, maybe just because this is my buddy, man. But quit attacking that dude, man.
Hey,
I'm not
hating on Tim either. Tim, if you can go get your money, go get your money. But I'm more hating on the Jacksonville Jaguars as an organization.
That's Jacksonville. We get it. Blaine Gafford.
Well, and I remember, what was it? He came in I think the 2011 NFL draft, and I'll actually look to make sure here. I believe it was the 2011 NFL draft. This is a decade too late for Jacksonville to have done this. Because let's be honest, he should have been a Jacksonville Jaguar right off the gate. And that would have made sense. Let me find the Denver Broncos here. That would have been the Von Miller year. So he may have been 2010. Let me see here. Denver Broncos. When the hell was he drafted? Was it 12?
I think it was, man. I cannot remember. Was he in the same draft as Darren McFadden?
No. He was after D-Mac.
Okay.
He was younger than D-Mac.
He was. So it was 11, wasn't it?
I thought it was 11, but he didn't show up. I know he was signed by the Broncos. Let me see here. Okay, I'm not sure when he was drafted, but for crying out loud, this kid it should have happened from the beginning for Jacksonville, was my point. Jacksonville should have drafted him back in 2011 for this PR move. Let's be honest, this is strictly a jersey sales move. I think I agree with you, though. Tim is going to make the roster, the 53-man roster. I think that of everything, Tim's going to be more of a player coach for Urban.
Tim
is there for Urban to get his culture across.
Yes.
And
that can't hurt.
No, not at all. Not at all. As long as Tim doesn't see a meaningful snap, his attitude can bring it up another notch for the Jaguars.
Oh, man, if it's somebody better than this guy, they get the first run. We understand it. It's about putting the best product on the field in a professional football league. However, you need glue guys. You need people that show leadership on and off the field. You don't have to be Patrick Mahomes to be a leader in the locker room. You ain't gotta be no gaudy superstar to do that. If Urban Meyer and Tim Tebow sat down, they're on the same page with the organization. Say, hey, look, we're gonna bring you in. They gotta say compete because it's the preseason, Mike.
Right.
We're going to bring you in to compete. We're going to bring you in to be a good guy in the locker room, to be a leader, to help develop these guys mentally because he has been in the NFL. Let's give him that. It was a decade ago, but he knows how to be a pro, and he played for the Mets. So that could definitely help him. Put some of these young guys on his wing. For Pete's sake, he kept Aaron Hernandez from flipping out at Florida.
Let's be honest here. If you don't think that Tim is going to be both in the tight end room and in the quarterback room talking to Trevor Lawrence, you're losing your mind.
Without a doubt, dude. See, And that's the beauty of it. You know, as long as Urban Meyer don't mess with his coaches and say, hey, man, we got to get this dude in there when they know it's 3 people better than him. That'll be the problem.
I would rather, though, if you're going to make this move. So here's my thing. If you're going to make this move, why not sign Tim as a coach of some sort? Give him a quality assistance spot, or give him like they did Brett Bielema after he got fired at Arkansas up in New England. Give him a special advisor to the head coach.
Talking about the Keep Bob and the Razorback Foundation.
Right. But no, that's where I am on this. Why give him a player spot? I mean, it's a spot that, let's be honest, according to ESPN, the projected depth chart has him at 4th on the tight end list. So, I mean, it's not like this guy will see the field, but why not give that to a kid out of Yo Mama State University that doesn't have a shot? You know what I mean? I kind of do feel that way. I feel like Tim's taking somebody's spot, but at the same time, you know, you got to weigh the positives and the negatives. Tim Tebow in your locker room is definitely a huge positive for Trevor Lawrence and for the rest of your locker room's morale. This guy is a competitor of the umpteenth degree, and he knows Urban Meyer's culture better than anybody. He embodies Urban Meyer's culture.
He does. I think this is, you said it right, Mike. Now, I don't know how they're going to twist it and shape it, but he'll be a coach. He'll be a football coach in the future. I can definitely see that. I don't have a crystal ball here, but I can see this guy being a coach because he wants to be around the game. Mike, maybe it's one of them things where this is his last shot. Urban said, hey, man, we'll come in and sign you. I'm not promising anything. You come in, do what you do, you know, the locker room stuff and all that. Be a great leader. You know, embody me on the field and all that kind of stuff. You know, we'll see what happens. Maybe he's trying to transition this into coaching.
Maybe. And I mean,
that would be smart.
And at that point, once again, you have to rule this a success if Tim does make that move. This is not Tim Tebow's about to try to go out and make the Pro Bowl every year as a tight end. Right. This is not that kind of move. So if we're setting that as the bar for success, then Tim's failing every day and he's not even going to get close. What we need to do is set a realistic expectation. Tim makes the team. Tim improves morale in the locker room, and then you have a successful signing with this kid.
Mike, can he help you on special teams?
Very true. Very true. I mean, he's not going to be the guy catching, but that motherfucker's got enough size that he can block.
And I'm going to tell you another thing. I can see Urban Meyer. I can see them making a package for this dude at the goal line. I can just see it. Yeah. I can see it. I can absolutely see it. Whether it be like a wild hog formation or what have you. Yeah, so, you know, you got to take the positives out of this, man. You know, if he's in there making the league minimum, they told him, look, you're probably not going to start. You might not even play. We might develop a package for you if we need it. We might use it. You know what I'm saying? It may work out. He go in there and keep his mouth shut, help guys out. But he's always been a selfless guy, man. I think Tebow the type dude, if somebody coming in that's really good and get cut, he'll say, you know what, man, put me on the practice squad. Now, remember, that's an option too, bro. Remember that, Mike? He could be inactive. He could be on the practice squad. He's still on the team. Hey, coach, put me on the practice squad. Let this other guy come up because he worked real hard this week. He's that type of guy, man. That will work.
And let's be honest, Tim doesn't need the money or anything because Tim's got sponsorships. This ain't about the money. This is about Tim loving the game. And, you know, one thing I will credit him with is he hasn't even said a word about touching the quarterback position. You know, that was the big knock on him was he refused to move from quarterback, which, you know, if you're a competitor like Tim is, then obviously you want to play your position. But good on him. Good on him. Okay, here's probably the most shocking news for me of the week from the NFL. The Atlanta Falcons are shopping Julio Jones, and we have a story from the NFL Live on ESPN.
So, Diana, what's the market right now for Julio Jones now that the draft is behind us? Yeah, well, the market right now is that the Atlanta Falcons are still open to actually dealing Julio Jones. Of course, we were reporting right around the draft that teams were calling. It hasn't slowed down. It's just right now the Atlanta Falcons are waiting for the most valuable offer that crosses the table in order for them to deal. If they don't get that price, they don't get the picks that they're looking for, then they're not going to do it. But there's definitely an openness in Atlanta to dealing him. We'll just see if there's a buyer out there.
I find this confusing. I mean, unless they could get a Hall or a defensive player who could make an impact immediately, to me, this doesn't make sense because when Atlanta took Kyle Pitts with the 4th overall pick instead of drafting a quarterback, they signaled that they were all in on this year. They were trying to win now with Matt Ryan. How does trading Julio Jones, one of the best wide receivers in the history of football, translate to winning now? How do you square that? It doesn't make sense to me. I know that they need cap space. I think they could probably restructure Grady Jarrett's contract, and I know that they're stacked at wide receiver. I think Calvin Ridley is a true number one in his own right and is incredibly underrated. But the case for Atlanta in 2021 and 2022 is having an offense that blows teams off the field and then hoping the defense gets better. I don't think that trading Julio Jones helps that cause.
Listen, I got to tell everybody behind the scenes, I know my producer Mark going to be mad at me because I'm supposed to go a whole nother direction, but damn it, I can't let this go. Matt Ryan vouch for Julio Jones. Tell Arthur Blank you want him back. Tell Arthur Smith you want him back. You have the position to do that. Don't be talking about that's my guy and he's been a part of my career. No, I don't want Julio gone. I don't want him to be traded. I want him to play for the Atlanta Falcons. Now let me get to where I was supposed to go. I'm sorry, Mark. The Baltimore Ravens should be on the phone every single day, every minute, trying to figure out how to get Julio Jones. And listen, this is not something that I guarantee this. If Ozzie was the general manager, Ozzie Newsome, the former general manager of the Baltimore Ravens, Julio Jones would probably already be in Baltimore. But this is another situation where Baltimore could land Julio Jones potentially, coupled with Rashad Bateman, and increase this offense as well that Greg Roman talked about. He wanted to move into a better direction from a passing game standpoint. And this is not different than what the Baltimore Ravens' MO was. They brought in Steve Smith. They brought in Anquan Bolden late in the career, went to the Super Bowl. This would be another move that the Ravens make that makes that franchise and organization look smart. But I'm gonna need Matt Ryan energy towards Atlanta keeping Julio Jones to come up a little bit.
Real quick, Marcus, for an offer, because you know it's Julio, right? You don't want to give him away. Is a first-round pick in 2022 enough to incentivize Atlanta? What kind of compensation should we be thinking?
No, I think you're going to be talking first and third, and it's only because of his injury history and how long he's been in the league. But 2-1s for Julio. 2-1s for if you think you're getting a healthy Julio is nothing. I would send it for him, especially if I'm a Super Bowl, if I'm right on the fringe of being a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming.
Okay, so some interesting things coming up there. My first idea is, number one, I completely agree with him. If you're Matt Ryan and they just went all in on you, why the hell are you not out in front of the camera saying, no, do not trade him? Calvin Ridley is your number one at this point. I will not acquiesce that. But Julio Jones is your number two, and he is a hell of a number two. And this is just, that would be a blow to this locker room and that receiver room that wouldn't make sense to, it just doesn't make sense to me that Atlanta's willing to do this, especially with a young Kyle Pitts coming in, who Kyle Pitts, let's be honest, he's a tight end in name only. This kid is a slot receiver. He's Jimmy Graham. In all honesty, he's Jimmy Graham. He can play just about any receiver position on the field. I agree with him that the Ravens would be a hell of a landing spot for Julio, even being a Steeler fan. I don't know that the market is going to be so big for Julio that you can demand more than a first. I'm not even sure that you can demand a first for Julio at this point. And I love Julio, but I don't know that you can demand a first plus like a third. That's rough for me.
That's stretching it, man. A couple of seasons ago, yeah, but he's on the other side of 30, so just how the NFL works, man. I can see possibly a second and third.
Yeah.
I can see a second and third for Julio, but I'm like you, Mike, and maybe Kim's. Man, Matt Ryan, if you don't call Arthur Blank right now and say, hey, bro, you cannot shop this guy. Let it go. He needs to be here as long as I am. We'll leave together because they're all in on you. The reason Calvin Ridley has the production he has, Mike,
is because Julio
draws single man coverage. They rotate the coverage to Julio's side. He's still
perfect example. Perfect comparison is Antonio Brown. And as much as I love him, Antonio and Juju. Juju didn't have the production this year because Antonio was on the other side the years that Juju was blowing people up. Perfect comparison.
Perfect comparison. And then if you do trade him, you have to get an impactful player that can help you now.
Right.
Bump a
we really can't be talking about picks here.
Yeah. You need someone that can come in and help you right now. If you're going to barter that guy for someone else, it doesn't make sense. I agree. Now, if Baltimore gets this guy, it's going to be tough in the AFC, man.
It really is.
Wow.
I mean, if Lamar can't get a Super Bowl with that offense with Julio Jones, then we need to start talking about Lamar and can he win the big one?
Right. Mike, I bet you it's 25 plus teams on the phone.
You think there's that big a market for him?
Yeah. Yes.
I could see Baltimore. I could see Tampa Bay making a call. I could see Tom Brady wanting him. You know what would be interesting? Cincinnati.
San Francisco, we made a call.
That would be interesting.
Raiders. I can see with the
I can see the Cardinals making a move.
I can see Seattle because they're looking for another receiver. I mean, Mike, they're great poker players. They're not going to show you their hand.
Right. Very true.
So a lot of people covet this guy, do you think? But Atlanta has to be smart about this, man.
They do.
Step up, man. Say, hey, look, hold up. It's tough enough.
Very true. Very true. I mean, and like the lady there in the middle said, her name's escaping me, but like the lady said, your path to winning in the NFL right now, if you're Atlanta, is an explosive offense, and you got to pray that the defense can hold them at least once.
Yeah, that's all you can ask for. And with a transcending generational talent like that, it's hard to pass up, man. Just like we talked about at another position. We talked about 2 weeks ago, Aaron Rodgers. Kind of same situation, bro. And Mike, remember you said possible? I got to correct you, my brother. Dude is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah. I think he is too. I think he is too, easily. A lot of people, I remember Megatron, when Megatron first retired. And let's not get this wrong. What I'm about to say, I know I'm going to get some hate tweets, especially from Detroit. But let's not get this wrong when I say this. But Megatron was great. Do I think Megatron was as good as everybody said? I think Megatron with a few more years could have been as good as everybody says he is. But I think Megatron retired too early. I think Julio is better than Megatron. Calvin Johnson was great, but he played in terrible Detroit. Julio has been better, in my opinion, and he's had better talent around him.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? To me, it's almost 1A, 1B because both are Hall of Famers. Both are physical, fast, smart, great teammates, no problems on and off the field people. So you got to get credit there. You never heard a peep out of Megatron. Until he was about retiring, but let's look at it, Mike. what did the great Barry Sanders do?
Same thing.
Same organization.
Same organization. Like, it's crazy the parallels between the two.
It's crazy the parallels between us. So, man, we can't, and I know you're not knocking Megatron, but yeah, Julio, probably better, longer career, went to the Super Bowl, got a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah.
He might not be first ballot, but got a Hall.
He's definitely a Hall of Famer. He's not first ballot, but yeah.
Yeah, you gotta give a nod to Julio, man. But Megatron kind of opened the door for big, physical, fast receivers. Made it a sexy thing, man.
Absolutely. And let's talk about this real quick. Hold on. Alabama may be known for pounding the ball under Nick Saban, but that man produces receivers like no other, dude.
Produces everything, man. The best of the best.
Jeez, that dude freaking.
Yeah, it's, you know what? It's linebacker you, lineman you, receiver you.
That's the only thing you can't call him is halfback you, and that's just because they call us that.
Right. You take that with a grain of salt.
I was about to say, yeah, you can take that one with a grain of salt too, by the way. Okay, so perfect transition into our next one, and we don't have a story on this one. I just want your thoughts. So this has been a debate for me since they first announced this. Is the NCAA transfer portal, is it good or bad for NCAA sports and programs in general? I'm going to say that I do not think that it is a good thing for college sports. Here's the thing. So you don't have in the NFL, you don't have the one and done rule. You have to go for 4 years, yada, yada, yada. In the NBA or in NBA, you now don't even have to go, actually. I think this was the last year that you had to go for at least a year. So you don't even have to go to college anymore. I would rather see the NFL get rid of the college requirement than, well, I'm not seeing the field at all. Like, I'll take Tate Marshall, for example, quarterback from Ohio State. The kid was highly recruited. He was on the Netflix show QB1 Under the Lights. Had a hell of a lot of pub about him. He's transferred from Ohio State to Miami. And now I think he transferred again this offseason. I see kids using this as an out if they don't get their way. And I don't like that.
Yeah. It's going to come a time where they regulate it. It's kind of wide open now, man. But I just think it's one of them things, Mike, until it changes. Until it's stricter criteria, you just got to take advantage of it, man, because it's going to affect you either way it goes. You're definitely going to lose people to the transfer portal.
Yeah.
All right?
I mean, we're losing people, even though Sam's such a great coach and such a player's coach, we're losing people still every year.
Right.
You know?
So it's kind of one of them things, okay, if I'm losing people, let me use this thing to my advantage. Let me either replace the stuff that I'm losing or become better at other positions. Mike, that's the only way you can look at it because you can't control it. You can't say, well, I want to turn the portal off with the University of Arkansas. Now,
right.
You look at it in different sports. In basketball, the reason they're going to start regulating in basketball because it's going to start affecting the blue bloods, bro.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're looking at it, and let's be honest, Eric Musselman has built the Razorbacks from the transfer portal.
He's doing what, Mike? He's using it to what? His advantage.
His advantage.
We're not being homers or biased. Let's take University of Arkansas. You lose Desi Seals. You lose Ethan Henderson. You lose Obami, incoming power forward. But look who you replaced him with. It's okay. He's used it to his advantage because he knows it's going to happen.
But here's something interesting, though. Kentucky fans can honestly complain that Calipari's not using it as much. And that's why Kentucky is now where they are.
Now, Mike, look, it's affecting you. Why not use it?
Absolutely.
Get over the fact that I'm big bad Kentucky. Okay, prime example, Mike. About 10 years ago, Duke didn't recruit one and dones, man.
Right.
Duke, it started with Jay Williams. Duke wasn't on the one and done thing, but they had to transition to the times of basketball.
Right.
You notice that?
Yeah, I can agree.
The days of 4-year starters, Mike, it's over with. The
Right.
only way you can get a 4-year starters, guess what? Through what?
They're the portal, or they're just not good enough to go to the NBA.
Yeah, so it's going to be regulated in a minute because it's kind of out of control. And I see what you're saying, Carnahan. You saying, well, if I'm not good enough, I get pissed off, somebody beat me up. I'm transferring. I'm leaving. And you got some guys that do it until they find somewhere where they get to play. By that time, you can call it 7 years. Especially with the COVID thing. So I absolutely get it, man. But until they regulate it, Mike, you got to use it to your advantage.
So, I mean,
they're stupid if they don't use it.
So, I mean, once again, I knocked them at first. But I will say this. If you're Tate Martell and you're coming from Ohio State to Miami and you don't get to play in Miami, so you transfer again, I believe he's at a school in Texas now. Or even Chad Morris's kid that went to TCU from Oklahoma because he wasn't going to get to play. You're a kid that's got a potential NFL future.
Hold up.
So maybe you do use it to your advantage.
Did he leave Oklahoma?
Yeah, he's at TCU now.
Are you kidding me? See,
I'm so glad we didn't get that kid.
See, that's the problem, man. I mean, go compete. Spencer Rattler, he's getting drafted this year. If you're so damn good, Mike, go up there and compete and take the job.
I completely agree.
I don't like that.
I feel like the transfer portal has emboldened these kids that think that their draft value is so high and their potential to get to the NFL is so high that they think, well, shit, if I can't play here, my stock's going to go down. I've got to transfer out. I don't want to compete. It's taking the competitive nature for these kids out of it. And they're like, I've got to see the field no matter at what level, or else I'm not playing in the NFL.
Well, Mike, these colleges, they're shaking in their boots because in the next 10 years, it's going to be something like the G League where these cats ain't even going to school. Okay.
I think so.
Why am I going to school? I'm going to school for a year, maybe 4 semesters. I'm not hardly going to class. I'm not concentrating on the degree, man. I'm trying to get to the NFL. I'll come back and worry about this degree. I'm like you. It's a waste of time. This is my issue, Mike. You need something for development. Football is different from basketball. It's certain kids out there that are physically ready for the NFL. You will go out there and get hurt, bro.
No, there is no such thing as a player coming out of high school that could play on an NFL squad. No such.
It's a minute few. Derrick Henrys and a few other Najee's. It's a few other
physical beasts, like
beasts,
anomalies.
You got me in the NFL. I'm a professional at what I do. I'm built and trained to hurt you. So it's gonna happen, Mike. You just need type of buffer zone between that and the league, and it's gonna happen, man. I'm telling you, because why go to school? I'm making y'all all this money. That's why they're starting to pay them.
Well, and that's why the NCAA, though, that you bring it up. The NCAA really does need to get to the times. As much as they want to say, oh, well, we've got to figure out how to make it fair across the board. No, you don't.
You don't.
I'm going to be honest with you. A quarterback that starts at the University of Arkansas should not get the same amount of money because he's drawing so much more money than a soccer player. No offense to soccer or anybody like that.
And that's gonna cause a problem.
So much more money. And you need to pay that quarterback like he's bringing that amount of money in. I'm not saying give these kids millions of dollars, but I'm saying pay them like they're on a practice squad in the NFL.
I mean, you're going to have to, man. A lot of these kids come for nothing. And the thing about it, it's the universities make so much money off their likeness. So, share the pie, man. That's all they're saying.
Exactly.
All these guys ain't going to the NFL, man.
Exactly.
All these guys don't have a pro career. So, man, take care of them. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Just to make sure it's regulated.
Exactly.
It's going to take some bumps and bruises, but we'll get it right.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with more Natural State Sports Podcast right after this.
All right, y'all. We've been planning this for weeks. And if we stick to the plan, stick to the script, everything gonna go down exactly the way that we want it to be. Now, we're gonna show up to the battle at the Catalina Wild Mixer, right? And we're gonna blend in with the crowd.
I just want to get gangster.
But what they don't know is Big Booty over here.
Big Booty, that's my
Big
name.
Booty. When the second match starts, you gonna come in and you gonna cause a distraction.
Distraction.
Just come in and start shooting the place up.
Say that thing, pow,
When the fire alarm go off and while everybody distracted by you,
bang, bang.
I'ma hot-shot it over to the door and I'ma hit the money box. Now,
Bang, 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 bang.
where D-Lay at?
I'm here, boss.
D-Lay, this is what you do, fool.
What we doing, boss?
When all that is going on, when Big Booty get everybody standing up, I need you to take off and run outside and go get the car. Because you need to be at the front door.
Okay.
Because what's going to happen is this. He going to hit the ninja gas.
The ninja gas.
And then I'm going to hit the ninja gas. And I'm going to pop out.
Boss, what's the ninja gas?
The ninja gas. The ninja gas is this. Ninja gas.
Ninja gas. I thought it was called instant transmission.
It don't matter what it's called. Just know I'm going to be there.
You right,
You need to be there with the car, okay? Now look. I don't want to buy this Fat Jitsu shirt so that I can blend in with the crowd. It's a wrestling show. Big Booty, you look good with that NWO shirt on, pimp.
I know I do, boss.
But D-Lay, what you wearing? You can't wear that, fool.
Why not? They look good.
We're supposed to be robbing a place and you up here with a shirt that say hug me on it, fool. We're supposed to be gangsters, killers. Not trying to hug kids and old ladies.
I mean, it say free hugs, not hug me, but, you know, it look good, though.
Alright, so y'all get y'all mask.
Yeah, you see what you do.
So when I bought this Fat Jitsu shirt, I also bought a Fat Jitsu mask. So when nobody see my face the whole time that I'm there.
We supposed to have our mask on the whole time?
Yes, you're supposed to have your mask on the whole time.
You know this, stupid.
You bought a Halloween mask.
I bought a Halloween mask,
Another
boss.
stupid thing. Show me your mask.
Dang, look good, though, look.
Yeah, that motherfucker is ugly.
See?
Yeah, you did the thing with that one. That motherfucker is ugly. Hey, you the one that's gonna cause a distraction. But hey, alright boys, it's time to settle up. It's time to go make some money. We finna rob everybody at the Battle of the Catalina Wine Mixer.
He's trying to get Kyrie.
I'm addicted to the thrill. It's a dangerous love affair. Can't be scared when it goes down. Got a problem? Tell me now. Only thing that's on my mind. Tunes around this town tonight.
It's now time for the Natural State Sports Podcast with Michael Carnahan, Aaron, and Mike Pettis, where we take the biggest sports headlines across the spectrum that is sports, and we break it down for you, the fan. It's coming at you in just a moment.
Dave Roberts. Talking 5, 6, 0 shots, 0 ticker. Back to running circles round niggas, now we squared up. Hold up.
Life's a game, but it's not.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We got a few more topics to go through here. And I want to start us off here by talking about some baseball and the preview of the NCAA college baseball tournament. We actually have some highlights from the Razorbacks victory. I believe it was Thursday night over the Florida Gators.
All right, everyone, we are back this week to look at some of the top sluggers this season in college baseball. NCAA.com.
Oh, wait, excuse me. Sorry. We're going to be looking at the best home runs of the 2021 season. I forgot. My bad. Go Hogs, though.
All right, everyone, we are back this week to look at some of the top sluggers this season in college baseball. NCAA.com's Wayne Cavati covered all the bases with this one, but focused mainly on one thing, the long ball. Here are 11 of the scariest hitters in 2021. Up first, Matthew Nelson, Florida State. Cavati thinks he is the premier slugger in 2021. He leads college baseball with an .833 slugging percentage and 20 home runs, a huge jump from his 7 homers in his first 74 games. Next, how about the guy that just set a new NCAA record after hitting a home run in 9 consecutive games? Tyler Bassetti at Nevada only has 11 home runs this season, but 10 of those came in the last 9 games in a row. He's hitting .342 this season with 16 doubles as well. Jared Dupree at Northeastern ranks right behind Nelson in home runs per game and slugging percentage with 15 round trippers on the season. Not only that, but he's hitting .376 this year. And Wes Clark at South Carolina ranks second in the nation in home runs with 19 bombs. If you want to talk about a strong debut, Clark opened the season 7 for 10. In his next game, 3 home runs. And of course, we've got Judd Fabian at Florida on this list, a player everyone has had their eyes on since his start at Florida. High average might not be his forte, but he's got the power. 30 home runs over the last 2.5 seasons and 18 in 2021, and for a top 10 team this year. Next up, we've got Bobby Seymour for Wake Forest, the 2019 ACC Player of the Year, proving it again this year with 18 homers, 10 doubles, a .714 slugging percentage, and a team-leading 51 RBIs. Over at Texas Tech, we've got Jace Young on the list, younger brother to Josh Young, who led the Red Raiders to the College World Series in 2019. Jace is now topping his brother's numbers, hitting .365 with 16 home runs and a 1.211 OPS. Runs in the family. Nico Cavadas at Notre Dame makes the list too. He led the Cape Cod League with 10 home runs in 2019 and has 15 so far this season for the Fighting Irish. He's 4th in the NCAA in home runs per game. And Matthew Christian at Campbell is currently hitting .377 with 15 bombs. That's 5th in home runs per game and 4th in college baseball in slugging with a .790 percentage. He has 54 RBIs and 10 doubles too. He can do it all. But 2 more. We've got Ethan Long at Arizona State. He's similar to Tyler Bassetti on this list. He's only got 13 homers this year, but 11 of those have been in his last 11 games. And his average has gone from .299 to .373 since April 21st. He's had 8 multi-hit games since that date. Getting hot at the right time. Lastly, Will Frizzell at Texas A&M with 11 doubles and 18 home runs. He's right up there with Fabian in the SEC with a .699 slugging percentage this season. That's it for now, but keep up on NCAA Baseball's social and NCAA.com as we get ready for Omaha.
Okay, so we're back getting ready to preview what the college baseball tournament could look like coming up this year. And I want to kind of share the screen here for this bracketology and get your thoughts, Pettis, about what some of these matchups look like. So, of course, Arkansas, the #1 overall seed, and they're in a bracket with Arizona State, Air Force, and Wright State. I don't see anything that's going to prevent Arkansas from coming out of that bracket. What about you?
Yeah, I don't think it'll be an issue, man. We just, hey, ebb and flow, man. Keep doing what we're doing. Don't worry about the other team. Worry about what we can control.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What about this next one? This next one actually looks interesting. We got Miami, Florida, Mercer, and Stony Brook. Miami or Florida, that's kind of a pick-em between those two for me.
Oh, yeah, man. 2 traditional good franchise, great schools. Florida's hot in the SEC, preseason #1, great squad. They say the most talented of all the SEC schools. So it's going to be good, man. But watch out for Miami.
Absolutely, absolutely. In the next round, we have Ole Miss, or in the next regional, we have Ole Miss, Georgia Tech, Southern Illinois, and Jackson State. I don't see anybody that's going to challenge Ole Miss in this bracket.
Ole Miss, they're gamers, man. You know, they kind of struggled a little bit this year. They didn't meet expectations, but that's a good ball club down there in Oxford. They'll come.
Absolutely. What about Texas Tech, Stanford, Alabama, and Oral Roberts? I mean, Alabama could give Texas Tech a run for their money in this regional. I'm actually really interested to see how that one turns out.
Yeah, I'm looking for Tech and Alabama to fight that one out. But Texas Tech is a truly talented squad, so they may end up failing it. Watch out for Alabama.
Absolutely. Mississippi State, Florida State, Southern Miss, and South Alabama. Ooh. Mississippi State doesn't want to look past Florida State, in my opinion.
You can't. That's a traditional powerhouse, man. Florida State's always tough. On paper, Mississippi State should win. Great ball club. Playing the gauntlet in the Western Division of the Southeastern Conference, so they're very good. Top 5 team all year. They should come out of that, but watch out for Florida State.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So next up, we got Arizona, Baylor, UC Irvine, and Grand Canyon. Arizona, a traditional powerhouse. I just don't see anybody slowing them down in this regional.
Nah, the Pac-12 powerhouse, man, they'll flex the muscle. They'll come out of that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Then we got Oregon State, who Arkansas fans know all too well, Gonzaga, North Carolina, and Central Michigan. Once again, Oregon State is one of those, like we talked about with Arizona, man. They're just a traditional powerhouse, or nobody's going to stop Oregon State in this regional.
Yeah, I definitely hope Oregon State win. We got a date with them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We owe them one. Tennessee, Pittsburgh, VCU, and Lehigh. I'm going to go with Tennessee in this bracket. I think Tennessee obviously is getting hot at the right time. Tennessee is just actually finished second yesterday as Arkansas gained the clincher to win the SEC regular season, correct?
Yeah, we're going to take the high road. Congratulations to Tony Vitello on a great season. Great season with the University of Tennessee. They're going to be a top national seed. I say a top 5. So great year. Ain't nobody going to beat them in that bracket, man. I'm sorry.
Right. Okay, so we got Vanderbilt, Louisville, Indiana State, and Bryant. The only team that I really see that could possibly give Vandy an issue is Louisville, but I think Vandy rolls.
Yeah, Louisville's a pretty good team. Was highly ranked last year before the COVID situation. They'll give Vanderbilt a run for their money, but that lighter kid, that rocker kid at the top, that's tough, man. That's almost 2 victories guaranteed, so Vanderbilt will come out of that.
Absolutely. East Carolina, NC State, Liberty, and Fairfield. I'm actually interested in this one. I could see NC State taking out East Carolina and coming out of this one.
East Carolina's good, man. I like North Carolina State, too, so I'm going to go with the Wolfpack.
Okay. We have Notre Dame, Charlotte, Indiana, and Northeastern in the South Bend Regional. This one's tough for me. I'm going to take Notre Dame, but Indiana, don't sleep on them.
No, you can't sleep on the Hoosiers, but the Golden Domers have been good all season. They actually had a pretty formative schedule being a team in the Midwest, knowing that they played most of their games early down south because obviously the weather. So they played a lot of good schools. They had games canceled against La Tech, LSU. So Notre Dame's played a formative schedule, man. I expect them to come out of that.
Okay. We have Oregon, the Ducks, the Wolfpack of Nevada, the Huskers of Nebraska, and Creighton Blue Jays. Once again, Pac-12, man, is so good at baseball. I got to go Oregon here.
Yeah, you'll probably lean towards Oregon, but I like Nebraska too. I think they got a Dave Van Horn disciple up there, so you know they battle every stretch. So let's just go with Oregon, but look out for Nebraska.
Absolutely. Could cause some issues. TCU, UCLA, Dallas Baptist, and Campbell. I'm going to go UCLA in this one. TCU's highly ranked in that 6th seed spot, but UCLA is a traditional power. I like them.
I'm gonna tell you, man. You said UCLA,
TCU, UCLA, Dallas Baptist, and Campbell.
That's the toughest bracket. Dallas Baptist is traditionally good. UCLA, another Pac-12 powerhouse, and TCU, top 10 team. That's hard to call, man.
It absolutely is.
Even Campbell could come out of that. That's funny I say that, but I'm serious. Look at their body of work. That one's up for grabs. But I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna take Dallas Baptist.
Okay. Old Dominion, South Carolina, Clemson, and Norfolk State. Man, South Carolina's nothing to play around with, and neither is Clemson. But I'm going to take Old Dominion in this one.
Mike, I'm going to agree with you. Old Dominion, they lead the nations in home runs, even more than the Razorback. Maybe one or two, maybe one, but they hit the long ball. So Old Dominion's very good. I'm going to pick Old Dominion.
Okay. Oklahoma State, Louisiana Tech, Virginia Tech, and Southeastern Louisiana. Another very tough bracket here. Ooh, I don't know. La Tech isn't bad, man, and neither is Virginia Tech.
Oklahoma State's a traditional powerhouse, man.
That's true.
La Tech's a great school, too. I'm going to take La Tech. They've been good all year. Let's go.
Okay. I'll mess around and take Oklahoma State out of that one. And then finally, the Austin Regional, Texas, LSU, Tulane, and Murray State. I'm going to take LSU to come out of this one and shock Texas and take them out of it.
Can we pass on this one? Two of the most hated teams that we face.
Right. That's no joke. We're going to absolutely love this region.
I cannot figure out coming out of this, but it's probably going to be the Longhorns. You know, LSU, they got a fighting chance, but it'll probably be Texas, man.
That's going to be a heck of a first round. I mean, like you said, that a couple of those regionals are going to be tough. Of course, Arkansas, I think, has the probably and should beating the number 1 seed, the easiest path to the next round. But, man, that 6th seed with TCU, Dallas Baptist, Campbell, and who was it? It wasn't Oklahoma State. La Tech, I think.
Yeah, La Tech.
TCU, yeah. Oof. That's tough. That's easily the toughest bracket that we got.
Yeah.
That's easily the toughest bracket that we got. Okay, we're going to share another screen here and go on to our NBA first round preview. The games, I believe, got underway about an hour and a half ago, so I'm not sure if we're going to get some scores on this bracket, but let's go ahead and look at it. We'll start off in the Western Conference. Utah and Memphis. I look at this to go a little bit deeper than what people expect. Utah is great. I say Utah in 6.
Yeah, I'll say Utah in 5.
You think Memphis is just going to be able to steal 1?
Yeah, I can see them getting 1, man. You got to remember, they fought so hard to get in this thing. So, depends what the legs are. The altitude, they got to go to Utah and all that kind of crap. So,
right.
Yeah, a game or two. I'll lean towards 1 game. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably the first one because they're hot, and our man Donovan Mitchell is just getting back into the fold. So, it'll probably be game 1.
That's true. The Los Angeles Clippers and the Dallas Mavericks. I tell you, this one's tough for me. I don't know much about the Mavericks this season other than who's on the squad. I'm going to take Dallas in this one in 7.
I'm going to take Dallas 7 just because of Luka factor, man.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I think they're going to trade blows and get down to the final one. It's going to come to the home team, so I see Dallas taking it.
Okay. Next up, we have Denver and Portland. Denver is one of those squads, man, that just seems like they're on the precipice, and they are so close every year to winning this damn thing, and they just need 1 more. I'm going to take Denver easily in this one. I'm going to take Denver in, we'll say 4.
I think this thing will go 7.
Okay.
I was leaning towards Portland, but I just don't see nobody on Portland's team that can deal with Nikola Jokic. You're possibly your MVP. I think he's going to win it. So we're going to take Denver in 7, man, but it's a close call because I really want to go with Dame. And I think I said it earlier, but I'm going to switch that up, man, because Nikola, he's just tough. He's a matchup nightmare, and I don't think they got anybody to slow him down.
Dame's going to fuck around and end up like Chuck and not having a ring.
Unfortunately.
Poor guy.
Unless he comes to the Lakers.
Okay, this next one's interesting to me because Vegas has the Lakers winning, even though they're the 7th seed. This is hilarious. Poor Phoenix. I think it's just the youth factor in Phoenix. The reason why the Lakers are the favorite. I think the Lakers get it done. I think the Lakers get it done fairly quick. I say 5 games, Lakers move on.
Yeah, I'll say 6 just because Phoenix is kind of feisty. You know, and they got just a kind of a young, exciting squad. Yeah, man. But like we said in the playoffs, Mike, it comes down to experience. It comes down to being able to play through people taking away your strengths and attacking your weaknesses. So LA's kind of battle tested. I mean, you got 2 of the best players in the world. So on paper, we should win this thing, man. We're gonna go with LA in 6.
Absolutely, absolutely. So next up, we got the Philadelphia 76ers and the Washington Wizards. I got to go Sixers in 4, man. I don't think Washington has anything for Philadelphia. Joel Embiid, I mean, I just don't think Washington has anything for Washington. Or for Philly, excuse me.
Agree with that. I'm looking. If any series is a sweep, it may be that one. No more than 1 victory, but like I said earlier, man, kudos to Scott Brooks and the Washington Wizards. Fighting all year, getting this thing, dealing with a rash of injuries, dealing with a big trade. Kudos, man. You know, it's not a failed season to lose in the first round to the number 1 seed. So let's go with Philly.
Aaron's got our first disagreement. He says Suns in 7. Aaron, I could see that. I don't know about the youth of Phoenix. Phoenix is great. They're just really young, and I don't know. It's going to take a lot to beat the man, LeBron James. I'll have to admit that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, not being a Laker fan, but you got to get that to James and to Anthony Davis. I mean, if they play at a top level, you know, you got to overcome 70 points. So
yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna go with LA. And I respect what Aaron said, man. But, you know, anything's possible. No disrespect to Phoenix, but we'll go with the defending champions.
Okay, so the New York Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks. I like Atlanta. I think New York is kind of one of those put together full of veterans rosters that, you know, unlike LA, it's not the right veterans. I'm going to go Atlanta in 6.
Man, this is, you know what? This is a 4-5 game, so obviously it's evenly matched. The Knicks are one of the hottest teams in the league right now. Really turned it around this year. The city of New York has embraced the Knicks once again. Cam Reddish is out for the series, which is huge. I'm gonna go with New York, my man, with a hot Julius Randle. I'm gonna go with New York, man, to advance. In 6.
Okay. This next series, we do have a game going on right now. It's at halftime. Milwaukee leads by 3, 53-50 over the Miami Heat. It is the only game we got going on right now in the tournament. This is interesting for me. So, of course, you have the Greek Freak in this thing. Miami's scrappy. Miami's interesting. I think Miami can steal 1 or 2 games. I'm going to say Milwaukee gets it done in 5. I think Miami can at least steal 1.
Man, Miami's defending Eastern Conference champs. They're very feisty, and I think they're a lot better than people credit for. This is my first major big upset. Miami in 7.
Okay, Miami in 7. That'll certainly shake things up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got the Brooklyn Nets and the Boston Celtics. I think earlier you said Boston in 7. That'll certainly be something. I mean, Brad Stevens has this squad ready to go, no matter what. Brooklyn's got a lot, though. That's my problem.
Brooklyn has a whole lot, man, but I think Boston can sneak some games. I think they're good with two with Jason Tatum hitting 50 bombs. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with it, man. I'm gonna say Boston in 7. They got championship pedigree. You know, they lost Jaylen Brown. I'm gonna say Boston in 7. I think Smart gonna step up. We know what Jason Tatum gonna do. I think the supporting cast gonna really do some big things in this series. So yeah.
I think I'm going to go the opposite of you. I think it will go 7. I'm going to go Brooklyn.
Okay.
I'm going to go Brooklyn in this one. I think Brooklyn has just too much. You know, you mentioned that you think that Miami's going to be the upset. I think whoever wins that Miami Milwaukee series will end up advancing over the Brooklyn Nets Boston Celtics winner. So I will take Brooklyn in 7, and then they run into Greek Freak, in my opinion, or in yours, Miami. Right. Okay, final topic for the day here. Does the addition of Albert Pujols help or hurt the Los Angeles Dodgers? And we have a story from the Los Angeles Times.
I told him I'm here to do whatever, pinch hit, first base, whatever they want. I think at the end of the day, I'm just excited to have this opportunity to wear this uniform, and glad to be here. A bunch of great group of guys in this clubhouse, and they already making me feel like home. Hey, listen, I've been playing against this organization long enough on the other side, and I see how they go about it. And I think that's something that I wanted to be part of it. And like I told you earlier, the game plan that they lay out for me and the communication, that was really important. And, I'm here and I'm just really excited to contribute to this ball club and this organization. So I want to thank Dave and, and Andrew for giving me the opportunity to wear this uniform. I think, there's a lot of things out there say, that he wanted more playing time, wanted to play every day, which that never comes out of my mouth. You guys ask me that question over and over so many times. And I always tell you guys, however the team use me, I'm here for that, whether it's mentor the young guys, whether it's, giving my at-bats out there. Listen, I have 80-some at-bats this year. I never thought that so early in April I was going to have that many at-bats. And I was excited with the playing time that I got in there. But I also understand that they wanted to move different direction, and I respect that. I was in that organization for 9.5 years, and, there's no hard feeling at all.
What kind of went into the number 55? Was it just kind of adding another 5 to the number?
Well, 55, Bible, I mean, yeah, it's the number of grace. So I feel 5-5, double grace. So that's how I look at it. I talked to the family, and that's, that was a number that they also agree with me. Listen, there's no grid. I don't have to show the Angels or anybody. I just going to go be myself out there and play the game. I love this game. I enjoy this game. There's a lot of veteran guys in this clubhouse, a lot of young guys with talent in this clubhouse, and I'm just going to try to be a mentor and help them out. I enjoy my time with the Los Angeles Angel Anaheim, and at the end of the day, it's just another opportunity to go to another ball club, and I'm excited about this opportunity and this next chapter of my life, and I'm going to enjoy every moment of it.
Okay, so let's discuss this here. Albert Pujols is 41 years old. Aaron says adding a future Hall of Famer doesn't ever hurt a team, in my opinion. And I would completely agree. The Dodgers, in this case, are already loaded. They're already a World Series team. This is kind of like the Tebow move for me. This is a locker room move. You bring in the guy. You bring in the guy who, is a future Hall of Famer. And, all you can do is add to the championship pedigree of your team. I don't know the details of the contract, but if you got him at a bargain, why not?
Man, I mean, loyalty doesn't exist anymore. I mean, we know this guy's on the other side of, 35, in the MLB, so it's on a decline. This is a top 15 player all time, man. Top great. Played for the great organization in St. Louis. Played for the great organization in Anaheim. I mean, he deserved better than that. It's the Dodgers game because, Mike, they're used to managing great players and egos, in which he doesn't have an ego. He's selfless. You heard what he said. Pinch hit, mentor young players, limited at bats, not enough playing time. He doesn't care. This guy wants to win.
He's got the right mindset for sure.
Opportunity outside of being in St. Louis to get a ring.
Well, and that's interesting. The people that are in St. Louis may say, Albert got a little bit of what he asked for in that, St. Louis, if he would have finished out his career there, they would have loved him.
It wasn't all his decision.
Do what?
He wasn't calling for no trade. He didn't demand no trade. They traded him. See? So, the fans have to be careful, man. We have to respect greatness and great players, man, because it's few and far between. He's been a model citizen, a great guy, a great pro, a consummate pro. Never had problems, never was a locker room cancer, always mentored young players, and was always a fan favorite. Get this man his flowers now, man.
Exactly, because we don't know how much longer he'll be playing. Aaron makes a good point. He already went deep once. Not sure how much that can hurt. Like I said, this squad is so deep, and it looks like we just got a Florida player. Did he score or did he get to the third?
I think it was he got the third on a 2-out double, I believe.
Oh, come on now, Hogs. We can't be dropping this game. Come on now, Hogs. But no, my idea, it doesn't help it doesn't hurt the Dodgers. I'm kind of that this doesn't help or hurt the Dodgers. It's just kind of a move that you make towards the end of the season or at the midpoint of the season. Aaron says, I'm a Cards fan. He didn't want to be there anymore. And I mean, it gets to that point where sometimes, guess what? You just got to make that move.
Okay. He didn't want to be there anymore, but did he say, hey, I'm not going to play if y'all trade me? It could have been reconciled. You can't tell me that. It's
right.
Aaron knows more about it. He's a Cardinals fan, so I'm not refuting that. But
he wasn't Aaron Rodgers, is what you're saying.
Right. I mean, you know, I just don't let great people like that go without having dialogue and without trying to see how we can amend the situation. But like I say, top 10, top 15 player all time, it can't do nothing in the long run but help the Dodgers. That's
absolutely. The real question, though, is and how you define a move like this. Do you think the Dodgers win a championship at the end of the season now? I mean, let's be honest. They were contenders before.
They're the clear favorite, man. I mean, on paper, who else is it? I mean, I'm a Braves fan, and, you know, I'm not biased. I'm just honest.
It definitely wasn't the Angels for sure.
No, man. They're right. I mean, they have great players, but the Dodgers, they should be in the World Series just on paper, man. You know, hopefully not, in my case, being a Braves fan, but they should be in the World Series.
Absolutely. Well, Mike, that's pretty much everything we got for today. You got anything else before we get on out of here?
No, that's it, buddy. Great show. I was happy to be here and can't wait to do it again.
Absolutely. Maybe next week we'll be talking about the Hogs and setting another benchmark for this season as we look for the Hogs to be advancing to the Omaha in the College World Series.
Definitely. Go Hogs.
Absolutely. Well, we will see you next week. For my broadcast partner here, Mr. Mike Pettis, I am Michael Carnahan. We'll see you next week. Oh, gotta get the outro.
He's trying to get